Outer Orange.
Hello, welcome back to another video. I wanted to make this video before I get busy with BCS and just in general kind of what's gonna be happening, where am I gonna be, all that kind of stuff. You guys have noticed that my content has been a little bit less, and it's not really so much that there's like something happening or anything like that. I've just been busy. I've been legitimately like actually busy. I've been having some stuff going on in real life. I also didn't have a computer for about 4 or 5 days. Like I had a computer, but I didn't have it in full functionality. I was missing a lot of stuff, so I didn't actually have a computer that I could use to make my content normally, so that was kind of out. I had to fix some stuff, and then I had some family birthdays happening and some other family stuff going on, and on top of that I have been playtesting a lot. I've been playtesting V and Premium so much recently because I am entering BCS Georgia, Duluth. So with that being said, I've been testing like crazy to do well in Georgia Duluth, as crazy as it sounds. And the reason being is that, Quick Collection just dropped like literally like a week and a half ago or so for all of us, right? So for pretty much everyone that's been playing, and Georgia is legal. Get the idea down of what's happening, how those formats are going to be, and kind of do my thing. I was originally just going to enter like standard and premium, and then for some reason my mind was like, no, Outer Orange, you must enter V Premium. But with that being said, so feel free to say hello. I'm pretty shy, but I love talking to people. I'm actually secretly a social butterfly. Once I start actually socializing, I will continue to socializing until I'm back in my room, like I am right now, and then I start closing up again and existing my own little world. That being said, so BCS is happening soon. We have tier days coming up soon. I'm actually really excited for Vanguard. There's some stuff that's been kind of like lowering my excitement, just how things have been kind of happening recently, and I'm trying not to be negative about it, but some stuff has just been kind of a little daunting, and I'm sure I'm not alone. I think there's a lot of people that have been kind of feeling this like daunting kind of feeling, and then there's other people that have just been really excited. So honestly, I'm kind of like in between, where I'm kind of going up and down, but what I am excited for is being competitive and entering BCS and all that kind of stuff. I have always been that kind of person. Competitivity has always been one of the main things that keeps me going in a lot of games. If I can be competitive about something, I get really excited, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I plan on traveling. I was going to travel a little bit more actually, but because of the way the dates are and everything, along with my personal life and stuff like that, it's actually was really hard for me to actually settle on dates. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Maybe I'll be able to travel outside the country, maybe I won't be. And this is kind of a random video. I don't even know what I'm doing with this video. This is just random as hell. I'm probably gonna talk about half of this stuff on stream tomorrow, but I'm just talking about it today anyway, just because I really miss talking to you guys. I miss just having like this camera, you and me and you, like one-on-one business. No chat, no other side, no Eric from Vanguard Insider, just me and you, Outer Orange and audience, just being here. But anyway, so I personally have like some like speculation sort of where the meta is going to kind of shift and what's going to do, and it's going to be I'm not going to lie, V and Premium are not going to be the funnest formats to play in, as they're very they're kind of more high rolly right now. It's different, which is what I'm happy about. I watched someone's Vanguard's video this morning about it, and he was like, yeah, at least it's different, and I'm with him. It is different, but it won't be the most balanced, I guess. We're going kind of backwards to 2019-ish meta, to where like going first is just like superior to going second. There's a lot of decks that just really beat you down if you're going first, and we've talked about this in the Discord in the past, and I kind of shut that down. I can't remember who exactly. It might have been Emily and Charlie. They're like, yeah, it's not gonna be relevant because there'll be a lot of going first type of meta where it just beats you down, and they're actually not wrong. We are kind of in that meta. I was like, yeah, there'll be some of it, but Gurgi will still be relevant, blah blah blah. But in actuality, Gurgi is still relevant. However, there's just a lot of decks that can kill decks like Gurgi and Anj before any of that stuff happens, especially right now. We're kind of just we're entering that, like, that current Quick Collection is like that. There's actually a lot of very viable decks in Quick Collection. A lot of people, I don't think, expected this Quick Collection to be nearly as impactful as it is, but it's actually insanely impactful. I would say that it is very 50-50. There is like half the decks are like insanely strong, which are going to be showing presence, and then the other half are just kind of like this, and they're just kind of existing and doing their thing. But that doesn't mean this Quick Collection is probably the most impactful Quick Collection we've had so far. In the past, we've had quite a few now, right? And none of them have really shifted the meta, but these will actually be doing stuff. We have a lot of like, just off the top of my head, there's Great Nature with Wheelpold. or Tester Fox in general has really been doing a lot of work. You could probably even throw it into other decks and probably make that work too, like Isabel, etc. But just because the Tester Fox engine is actually really freaking strong. The draw, the retire, the searching, the sending triggers back to deck. There's just so much. It works best in Leopold, but there's so much that those two cards do that are just so good that like I think it'll keep Great Nature in a pretty good spot. I would say Great Nature is low-key a Prism deck right now, and what by that I mean you have like this huge hand, you're getting huge advantage. It doesn't necessarily kill you right off the bat, but it'll just progressively get stronger and stronger, and the strength kind of skyrockets the more turns it lives because the Excel marker generation is actually insane. It going first is really brutal. Overall, just a really good deck right now. I would highly recommend testing it. Highly recommend understanding that matchup. It's actually very good. Another one is 7 Seas. Now 7 Seas, I'm kind of like this. I've been kind of like, oh my god, it's so good, and I'm like, it's kind of meh. I've been kind of just tossing back and forth between like this like arch of like, you know, in the middle being mid, and then down here is too strong, and down here is not that bad, right? It's just been like this arch of me pretty much going up and down this arch for the last like since pretty much the release of 7 Seas, because I've been testing it literally since the cards dropped. I've been testing the deck, and my thing about it is that 7 Seas is one of those decks where if it goes first, hits the pieces, it's pretty much like a kill zone, like you just kind of die. However, when it misses and when it doesn't hit its pieces and everything goes wrong, you don't really do much, and the comeback from it isn't very strong either. Like you really need to get lucky to heal at least once. You kind of have these like weird situations where with luck is in your favor, then maybe you have a shot at coming back. Like you know, the deck does have a time. It has a kind of like a ticking bomb. You know, if they find their Night Mist in time, or right, Night Storm, whatever his name is in time. You know, Hubby. If they find Hubby in time, and then they have they have the dragons on the board and all this kind of stuff, it does explode. It does randomly win games. It kind of plays like Melody in my opinion, where once it hits its engine, it just doesn't really stop doing its thing, and your only shot is to just kill it before it keeps doing its thing, because the restands get very aggressive, and you don't really want to take those hits. Eventually it just gets too powerful, and it is one of those decks that punishes you for healing, because that means it has more chances to start hitting you more, and once it hits 6, you know, it restands. So it's just kind of all this kind of stuff going on. Steam Maidens, and they're pretty sure this is actually very disgusting. Steam Maidens is actually pretty disgusting right now. It's very strong. It's already been a good deck, and now it's definitely showing its presence with the new cards. Whether you run the 50-50 engine where you're running the old stuff in with the new stuff, or you're running purely the new stuff for the more slower game approach, regardless, the deck has this thing where once you give it enough counterblast, it just starts doing its thing, and you will probably die. And on top of Colossus, or Piano as some people like to call it, the deck just gets more aggressive, and it filters, by the way, and it's just really good. The grade 2 and the grade 1 the Steam Maiden engine people got is actually really strong. The cat just straight up searches for Steam Maidens, and the grade 2 just straight up looks at top 2, and you filter one, you know, put one by and put one to hand, and you kind of just keep doing that every turn, and it just kind of keeps going. I think the only thing about it is that's very awkward for setup. You have to really set up a certain way. You really need to play test that deck. It's not one of those decks they can just pick up and play. You can misplay really easily going early. Like early on, you can guard incorrectly, and it'll screw up your multi-attacking engine and screw up a lot of stuff actually. So definitely probably the hardest deck to pilot in the more recent decks that have dropped. There's probably a couple other ones on here, but this is just the one that comes to mind for me. There's actually one more deck that I don't bring up in this video because I can't discuss it right this second, but might be discussed in the future. But there's one more deck out there. Why don't you subscribe or something? Maybe you might see a video pop up on my channel about it in the upcoming weeks. Anyway, back to the video. And we still have our old stuff, right? We still have the Gurgits and the Night Roses and the Anges, and I think Ange and Gurgit, primarily Ange, will probably fall off like crazy. We may see one top somewhere if someone's lucky enough, but honestly I've been saying this for a while, but Ange is really slow. Like, it's actually a very slow deck, unless you just super high roll. It's like a ton of Q-Tire and you don't miss, and you drew into all your multiple copies of cards, and you don't miss with Q-Tire, and you kind of just keep going. Then you have like kind of like an okay thing going. But honestly, there's some situations where you'll watch yourself kind of fall apart, and you'll watch the deck fall apart, and that's when the deck kind of starts feeling really bad. Whereas some of these other decks that I released don't really have that. They have a little more consistency. So I don't know about that deck, honestly. I've been like, this is coming from someone that's been playtesting this deck way before the popularity hit. You can look at my videos. Like, I've had like the Ange stuff for a while now. I've talked about it. I've topped with it. It's on VG top decks. So not top like an event, but locally topped a couple times now. Actually, it's been on VG top decks. I've been piloting to this deck for a very long time. Heck, I was even piloting before. But the thing is that before it was like, you know, Prism or Ange. Of course, I'm gonna pick Prism every time because Ange is everything Prism is, but just way worse. Like way worse. Like Prism has has its weaknesses, and in Orange, those weaknesses are multiplied. So honestly, like, the choice was very obvious. Like, why would I take that? But we are getting a new promo that's coming pretty soon for the English meta. It's already on JP, but we're getting it soon too. We should get it before BCS season ends, if I'm not mistaken. It should be October, November-ish. We should, as long as it doesn't get delayed, we should get it, and that promo will actually up Orange quite a bit, so Orange might be coming back to show towards the end of the season. So Holy Shrine, I don't think we've talked about Holy Shrine too much, but Holy Shrine's a deck, but honestly that's another deck that if you just rush it down, you should be okay. They have a lot of grade 3s. It's a very grade 3 focused deck. But the difference between, you know, a grade 3 focused deck like this and something like Astro Poets is that there's very little shields that Gurgit actually, not Gurgit, but just Gold Paladins actually has, whereas at least in Astro Poets you have like 4 extra perfect cards to work with, right? You don't really have access to that at Gurgit, so you kind of have to steamroll and kill, or you just get destroyed. So, you know, facing into Holy Shrine, that's something to keep in mind. Premium is a whole other story. Premium's meta is not very nice right now. It's very disgusting. It's very unfriendly. If you're playing competitively, you'll be fine because you're playing competitively, but for the casual folks, it might not be the greatest format right now. If you're trying to get into the game, it would probably be best to stay away from a Mystery Flare, Ribbles, and Narukami, unless you're learning the decks, of course. But, you know, if you're trying to compete or whatever, and you're kind of new to the game, you're going to watch yourself kind of flop a lot. It's very dice rolly. It's very aggressive. You have to kind of, there is still some deck building and some very smart decisions that can be made. It's something I learned very fast as I started testing the decks that I'll be taking. But even within all of that, there's still a line of kind of like RNG that you just can't really avoid. And it kind of sucks. And I kind of wish it wasn't like that, but that's just how it is right now. I will say, you know, in Springfest, this wasn't a thing. There was definitely more decisions that were decisions were definitely bigger. Like, your decisions mattered more. In this format that we're going into, your decisions matter less. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Some people prefer it like this, where they can kind of just do, you know, play their deck and just kind of win that way. Some people prefer the decision making. It is definitely kind of like sometimes just high rolling into your win is sometimes like very satisfying, and maybe for some people it's not so much. You know, there's a reason why high roll decks exist and why people play them. You know, some people like it like that. They like just the high roll thing. I can't say it's actually been bad. I was at first like I first, you know, started testing, I kind of hated it all. I was like, God, this is all so annoying. And, you know, there's it feels more monkey brain. But actually, the more I started testing it, the more I actually started enjoying it from a competitive aspect. As crazy as that sounds, DP has been another really fun deck to experiment with. I've recently bought the whole deck. I made a whole tweet about it and all this kind of stuff. It was one of the first few decks that I saw in Vanguard overall. Long story short, yeah, DP is really fun. Actually, DP is strangely really good. I've actually tested it into into like a bunch of these matchups, and I had a better win rate with DP than I did with Grand Blue, which is so sad to say. I never thought I'd actually say that, but yeah, maybe it's the way I'm playing or something, but that happened. But anyway, okay, I'm really excited. I'm gonna probably make a more in-depth video about maybe specifically V. Kind of like I might actually do it on stream tomorrow, which you guys will be seeing tomorrow if you're on Twitch, so you should go do that. Actually, no, not tomorrow. You guys will be seeing it tonight on Twitch. So, because by the time this releases, it'll be already Wednesday. So you guys should go watch Twitch and find out about V Premium if that's what I end up talking about. It should be what I end up talking about. I'm probably gonna come up with some lists and be like, hey, like this is the stuff that you should worry about, and this is kind of how to deal with it and all that kind of stuff. Because the Overdress one did really well, so I'm doing a V Premium one now because V Premium is a lot newer. Clan collections are a lot. The clan collection just drops, so a lot of people don't know stuff. So that's that. But anyway, aside from that, Dear Days is coming out. I'm really excited for that. I'll definitely be making content on that. But anyway, guys, I don't know what this video really is. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't even know how I'm going to title this video, but I just kind of want to talk, and I want to wish you luck to everybody that's entering BCS, whether you're entering this weekend or entering a couple weekends or entering any of them, either in Europe or you're in the Asian countries, or if you're in Canada. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Australia, I don't care. I just want to say good luck. I'm really excited for this BCS season. Hope you are too. Hope you're ready, whether you're going to standard, V Premium, and Premium. I don't want to bring standard in this video, but standard meta currently is exactly the same that it's been. It's not changing until set 6 drops. For us anyway. Japan has already changed, but for us it's pretty much the same. So that being said, I have nothing to talk about in there. So that being said, guys, I don't know what the reason for this video was, but hey, I created it anyway just because I felt like it, and I'm gonna edit it just because I feel like it too. But well, good luck, guys. Stay awesome. I'll see you guys this Saturday and Sunday if you're gonna be around, so stay tuned for that. But that, guys, I'm gonna peace out now and see my Das Vidanias. And yeah, you guys, like I said, if you guys want more of me, go check out twitch.tv. As long as Twitch is not broken, and Twitch is broken, then it'll probably be on YouTube streaming. So yeah, check that out. We did really well on our YouTube video, on our YouTube stream last week. So, you know, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. But guys, it's been great. Thank you as always for following me. Thank you for supporting me. I'm not going anywhere. Some people think I'm like becoming a Digimon person or something. I don't know. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. Actually, I'm creating new I want to change up my content. I want to add more stuff to it. So I've actually been preparing how to edit stuff a certain way. So I'm not going anywhere. I promise. I'll stay right here, unless I die, and then in which case I can't really stop that now, can I? But aside from that, I'm gonna be right here. But anyway, guys.